In California, we go to great efforts to control harmful emissions and improve our air quality. Many of us have seen smoking vehicles on our roadways. Smoke contains particulate matter. Particulate matter is a component of vehicle exhaust that California's existing smog check test equipment cannot directly measure. That's why Assembly Bill 1870 was approved by the governor in September of 2006. The bill required a visible smoke test as part of the vehicle's smog check inspection and was implemented in March of 2008. In January 2010, the visible smoke test was modified to be more effective for gasoline vehicles. Visible smoke is typically the result of incomplete combustion, a worn engine burning oil, a faulty PCV system, or excessive engine blow-by. In most cases, incomplete combustion results in black or gray smoke, while burning oil produces blue or bluish-white smoke. Oil in the exhaust results in catalyst poisoning and rapid deterioration of the vehicle's catalytic converter. For vehicles equipped with computer controls, any oil that gets into the combustion chamber will result in premature deterioration of the oxygen sensor. Fine particulates from burning engine oil are also especially toxic and can cause lung problems, heart disease, and other health consequences. The visible smoke test includes 3 parts: a test for smoke from the vehicle's tailpipe during idle, a PCV check, and looking for smoke during the bar snap test. The bar snap test is not to be confused with the SAE snap test. Visible smoke observed from either the tailpipe or PCV system will cause the vehicle to fail the visual portion of a smog check. Now let's view how the visible smoke test is performed. The additional check now performed in the visible smoke test involves the observation of the vehicle's tailpipe during a snap test. The snap test consists of 3 individual throttle snaps. However, these snaps are not performed consecutively. The first snap helps the technician to become familiar with the vehicle and is performed before the ASM or 2-speed idle test is started. The RPM of the engine may be viewed on the vehicle's tachometer or the EIS screen during the snap test. The target engine speed is between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM. Smoke observed during the first snap will not cause the vehicle to fail the visible smoke test. The idle test for visible tailpipe smoke shall be performed immediately following the emissions portion of the smog check inspection. The engine shall be at idle. Upon completing the emissions test, remove the exhaust probe from the tailpipe. With an unobstructed view, observe the tailpipe area for at least 10 seconds. If any smoke is observed, the vehicle shall fail the test. In this example, the vehicle actually failed the smoke test. Be aware that water vapor or steam is not smoke, and therefore does not cause the vehicle to fail the test. The test for visible smoke from the PCV system shall be performed during the underhood portion of the visual inspection. With the vehicle's engine running at idle, observe the PCV system for at least 10 seconds. If smoke is observed, the vehicle shall fail the test. After completing the PCV smoke test, leave the vehicle's engine running at idle to perform the snap test. The snap test is performed by depressing the throttle and releasing it quickly. The snap should be less than 1 second in duration. The engine speed should go above 2,000 and not exceed 3,000 RPM. Perform the final 2 snap tests when the EIS prompts for entry of other emissions-related components. Perform the second snap test while watching for smoke. Allow the engine to return to idle and stabilize. After at least 3 seconds, perform the third and final snap test while watching for smoke. Use any means necessary to enable observation of the vehicle's exhaust plume, including, but not limited to, adjusting the seat and mirror positions, additional lighting, and the use of an exhaust tube, mirror, or white deflector board. Only smoke observed during the 2 final snap tests shall cause the vehicle to fail the visible smoke test. After completing the visible smoke test, enter the results into the EIS under the Other Emissions-Related Components category of the visual inspection. Enter P for pass, or F if the vehicle fails. Technicians will need to pay special attention to situations where the vehicle fails the visual inspection for other emission-related component reasons. That's because the other emission-related components category on the EIS also is designed to cover components that are not specifically identified in the visual inspection menu. If a vehicle passes the visual smoke test but fails the visual inspection of an emissions-related component covered under the Other category, the vehicle fails the visual inspection. For example, if a vehicle had an illegal turbocharger installed, the vehicle would fail due to tampering. In this example, the tamper entry supersedes the visual smoke test entry. If the vehicle fails the visible smoke test, document the failure by writing or stamping on both the invoice and the Vehicle Inspection Report, the VIR, either of the following phrases: failed for visible smoke or failed visible smoke test. Document the specific failure, tailpipe or PCV system, on the invoice that is given to the customer. Give the customer a copy of the Visible Smoke Test Failure Consumer Information Sheet and check the appropriate box to indicate whether the vehicle failed the test at the tailpipe or PCV system. Check both boxes if it failed at both locations. This document is available on the Bureau of Automotive Repair's website. Consumers whose vehicles fail the visible smoke test have the following options. 1. Have the vehicle repaired at a licensed smog check station, or 2. Apply for either repair assistance or vehicle retirement under BAR's Consumer Assistance Program, or 3. Schedule an appointment for a verification test at a referee facility by calling the toll-free referee information line. Consumers interested in applying for the Consumer Assistance Program should visit BAR's website or call BAR's toll-free main line. In closing, the State of California and the Department of Consumer Affairs, Bureau of Automotive Repair, would like to thank you for doing your part to help clean our air.